It has been a long week. But I'm trying to stick with this to a certain schedule and everything. So we're going to do something. Don't really know what. Kind of like the last video, fart around with the game a little bit. Basically talk a bunch of nonsense. Non-sequiturs on top of non-sequiturs. And we'll just see what happens. Now, for what to play tonight, I was torn between a few things. Again, I'm trying to stick to what's familiar because I'm still not confident that I can really do the talking while gaming thing, especially if I'm playing something new to me or less familiar to me. Like last time with Road Rash, I mean, how many hours have I played Road Rash? A lot. So I could kind of autopilot that one. And tonight, I'm thinking of doing a game that I'm also quite familiar with, or at least I used to be. Not so much anymore, perhaps. Another one from when I was a child, and that my uncle had for his Sega Genesis. And we are going to go over to the T's for some two Crud dudes. Oh yes. Data East. Ah. Wow, that takes me back. So, yeah, I mean, this was one of the games that I don't know why it seized my imagination the way that it did back then. I mean, this was still whenever I was young enough that I was just all about, action in the games. Just get to the action, let me fight something, and I mean, this game delivers on that front. Let's be honest. And it's two-player co-op, which was fantastic. My uncle and I could play it together, and that was the great thing about playing video games as a child, because you would play the game. You'd play a video game, but then once you stopped playing the video game, you went outside to play with your friends or whatever. You'd continue to play the game in your other childhood games. So a great example of this would be Battletoads, actually, on the NES, with my buddy Charlie back in the day. We'd always, we'd play Battletoads together. Never could make it past the third stage. Come on, Turbo Tunnel. Let's up the player count, and we can't up the continue. We'll stick to normal. See what happens. Okay. But we'd play Battletoads video game, and then whenever we couldn't succeed in that, we'd go outside and then play Battletoads. With our imagination running around, we'd always fight over who got to be Pimple. Because even though you couldn't be Pimple in Battletoads on NES, if you ever paid attention to the intro, whenever it slides in the profiles for the Toads, I mean, just look at Pimple. He's like twice as big as the other two Toads. I mean, Rash and Zitz are cool and everything. Rash is actually my favorite Battletoad, at the end of the day, because of later entries and everything. But, dude, back then, it was like, dude, if only you could play as Pimple in the game, Dark Queen wouldn't know what hit her. Nothing could stop him. Look at him. He's jacked. It was the same thing in when we would play Bucky O'Hare on the NES. You've got all the playable characters from the show, but you don't have Bruiser, the Berserker Baboon, in it. And so we'd always be like, dude, why didn't they include Bruiser in the game? He'd be unstoppable. It'd be amazing to play as him. And it would be, actually. But anyway, I digress. And of course, right as I start doing this, my daughter starts to move. I see eyes opening up. She's about to cry. Yep. Alright, let me go and tend to her. Okay, and we are back. We'll see how many more times that happens. Okay. So, just like last time, I don't remember what the heck I was talking about before that. So, we're just going to continue on with the game. No, didn't mean to do that. See, back in the day, as was so often the case, I always liked playing two-player because I preferred being the two-player character. Because it was like all the time, the second-player character was the cooler-looking character. He had the cooler sprite or palette or whatever. That's the way it was going all the way back to... Is it? Yeah, see, okay, here we go. Here's the two players. You know, the orange guy is player one. The dude in like the cool teal and all that stuff, he's player two. And, I mean, this phenomenon goes all the way back to the original Super Mario Brothers on the NES. You know, I always thought Luigi was a much cooler looking guy, although back then, I mean, you know, I didn't know he was Luigi. I called him Green Mario, which, you know, considering their canonical... Let's not give people seizures. Come on, only watch that once. Considering the canonical nature of their last name, kind of works. But yeah, it was like Luigi was cooler looking in Super Mario Brothers. Jimmy, you know, playing as the red Double Dragon was cooler. Battletoads, as I was talking about earlier. Zitz with his red coloring was cooler looking than Rash. The teal player 2 here looks cool. I mean, it was just non-stop. Player 2 always looked cooler. At least so I thought. Okay, let's actually start the game. I don't know how this is going to go. It's been a while since I played this. I mean, the last time I played it was actually maybe a year and a half or so ago. Played it a little bit with my buddy Colin. You know, introduced him to the game. Oh, that was good. Because, you know, the game, let's be honest, I don't know if you've ever played it, but gotta remember how to do this. You can... Well, that's another way to do it. Okay, there it goes. Yeah, see, if you even get touched by an enemy, it hurts you. You don't have to get hit by like their attack or something. Just making physical contact with them is enough. Oh, gosh. That's right, you gotta jump kick those guys. Oh, no, see, I messed up on that one. But, yeah, played it with my buddy Colin. And, you know, Colin's pretty decent video games, but he gets really frustrated with games of a certain, you know, difficulty. And a game like this, oh, it just... it drove him crazy. Which, of course, made it, you know, one of the most fun games ever for me. You know, it wasn't just nostalgic, oh yeah, playing this game again. No, it was like, now I get to torture my friend Colin, which is really my mission in life whenever it comes to games these days. And see, this was the thing about the mid-bosses, and even the bosses oftentimes. It's like, you don't try to hit them. That's just asking for trouble. For the most part, you want to grab them. It's the safest way. Little midget's horrible. I can tell you already, I'm taking way too much damage. Part of that's I'm not paying as much attention, and part of it is I'm rustic. Yeah. Oh, a little bit of a sprite glitch there. I don't remember that before. It might be, maybe that's a analog artifact. Yeah, we're getting something going on here. This was always a game that you just had to be really cheap to succeed in. You had to just know the enemy patterns and know how to cheese them more than they could cheese you. Like this guy you can cheese pretty well. Let's see if I can still do it. I think I'm not going to get through this one. Yeah. Eventually, yeah, the snake gets going. Oh my gosh. There's a pattern you can get here. I've obviously forgotten it. There you go. Really, you just want to wait for the guy to jump over to you, pick him up, throw him into the snake, kick the snake a little bit. You can get through the first stage without even really getting hit. I mean, I could beat this game back in the day. I played the game to death. Got fantastic at it. Past tense in all those cases. But I do kind of remember a little bit now what I had been talking about earlier with, you know, you play video games, then you know, as a kid, you'd continue to play the game in your imagination and in your, you know, games that you would play with the kids out in the neighborhood and stuff. And Two Dudes kind of factored into that a little bit because, you know, I'd play the game a lot with my uncle co-op, and, you know, so what it became is, you know, it wasn't just like Two Crude Dudes, the video game, but it was like, you know, we were the Two Crude Dudes. So it was just, you know, some goofy fantasy. And of course, he was always great at indulging me in that sense. Now, see, I'm not paying attention because here, you know, one of the greatest things you can do is pick up a car and chuck it at someone. And I was basically walking past that. This is going to be a little bit tougher of a game for me to talk through while I'm playing, because I'm having to pay way more attention to this than I did Road Rash. I'm trying to... Ooh. A little bit of scratchy audio there with the dogs barking too. Yeah, this is not a game that the analog system is excelling at. Which is surprising. I have not encountered many issues like this, unless I'm just forgetting. Like maybe the game really sounded and had these kind of glitches and you just overlooked it back in the day. I don't know. At some point. I do have... I do own the cartridge for the game, so at some point I'll just have to dig out my my cartridge and play it on one of my original systems and see how it stacks up. I don't remember how Colin and I played it. I think it was on cartridge, because what we usually do is I think I picked up my copy. Obviously not last year's because, you know, coronavirus and all that. Oh, I forgot it does that. That's so lame. But slowdown that I'm not remembering too. But I remember being able to pick that up. Oh wait, maybe I did it up here. Yeah. But I can't continue. Oh, this guy is actually, he's whipping my butt now, but he's not that hard. If I can get my spacing and timing down. Throw him down. But, yeah, Colin usually comes over and visits. He still lives back in Louisiana. But he often would come over and visit each year to go to Retropalooza here in Dallas, or Arlington more specifically. And I believe a couple years ago, Two Crew Dudes was one of my pickups there. And so, of course, after every Retropalooza, we come back to my house and we try out all the games we picked up. One, to make sure that they work and everything, and then two, just to check them out. And I think I convinced him to actually play through Two Crew Dudes with me for a bit, and oh gosh, he hated it. And of course, it's now become one of those games that I can just torment him with. Oh, I forgot these little spider monkeys did that. Oh, whoa, what did he just do? Was that spit or something else? We're gonna say spit, but let's be honest. It can be debated. Oh, gosh. Oh, come on. And this is exactly the kind of crap that was just murdering Colin. Not just in the game, but just his sanity in playing the game. And so I'm always trying to find games to torture him with. And this is one of them. Legend of the Mystical Ninja on the Super Nintendo is another one. It was one of the games I owned as a kid. Loved it, and I shared it with him a few years ago, playing it 2-player. And I had never had a problem with the game in this respect, nor did any of my friends back then. But it's something with Colin. For some reason, he can't interface with Legend of the Mystical Ninja in this way. The enemies, the first stage. No, that's not gonna work. But they're the ones that run around carrying the fish, and when you hit them, they drop the fish, and the fish flounders around, and if the fish hits you, you take damage. For whatever reason, this guy's throw grenades, yeah. For some reason, every time he killed one of the guys with the fish would just come loose and murderize him. Oh, I'd never seen anything like it before. And, we didn't even... Did we make it to the first boss? I don't remember. I think it was all he could do to not throw my controller, which I thank him for that. And then he basically refused to ever play the game again. Oh, I forgot this little punk does this. Oh, what was the trick to him? Oh, he's murderizing me. Here's one trick. Hey. Yeah. But... oh, could you... yeah... just do it this way. Let's see, what else? Yeah. One of the things I don't remember about the game... oh gosh... is I remember being able to beat this game pretty easily back in the day. I just had played it enough, I knew the enemies and everything. I don't remember if I played it and beaten it on normal or easy, because back then, like, as soon as I got the game, first thing I did was go into the options. Does it have a difficulty mode? Okay, let's put this sucker on easy. I wasn't trying to impress anyone back then. My gosh. So yeah, I always played everything on the easiest mode possible back then. Nowadays, I try to stick to normal. Now, I do not remember this guy, and he will flip you up, and it's the most annoying thing ever. Okay. Oh, see, there it is. Oh, look how much damage it does. I don't remember how you get around that guy. There was some way to do it. You also just have to love the sheer, you know, like early 90s vibe of this, because I think this is an early 90s game. Of course, it's based on, what is it? It's not Two Crude Dudes, it's just Too Crud. That's what it is. Which might have been late 80s, but it's still that hybrid period of like late 80s, early 90s. I mean, just look at the aesthetic. Yeah. This is a game with Tude. Thank you. Reminds me of like the grunge portrayed in like the first Ninja Turtles live-action movie. That was something else I forgot to think. Oh yeah, we're not seeing the game at its best right now. I do need to update the firmware in my Mega SG. It's fairly recent, but I think a couple months ago there were some big updates or something. Oh my gosh. And the other thing that I remember a couple months ago, whenever I played this with Colin, I was doing a lot better than I am now. I'm guessing must be the consequence of me trying to talk while I do this. Oh my gosh. That was dirty. That was baiting me. Oh my gosh. We'll go through one more set of guys and then I'll call it. Oh yeah, I remember this guy. I'm not doing it perfectly, but again, you just cheese the enemies in the game to get through it. Ooh, oh, oh. Lost my train of thought from a moment ago. What was it? Yeah, that's the other factor here, is I'm just so freaking tired. 'Cause, I mean, this week was just a bear at work, and it's been a bear at home, just with some of the things. I didn't mean to do that. Trying to get done and everything. And another thing, you know, there is actually another, you know, little project I'm working on for the channel. Last week, you know, when I was taking a shower, I had a train of thought to, oh yeah, these weird little Santa Claus grenade tossing goobers. And, you know, my shower thoughts kind of led me down a certain trail. Oh yeah, you can. I'm trying to remember. Can you actually pick up the tanks? It's like you can try, but you can't. Oh my gosh. It's like you can't succeed, but maybe you can if you can just focus. I can't remember. Oh well, now I blew them both up. Dang it. Oh, this guy. He's a pushover in this mode, even though he just whooped my butt with that. But then he transforms. Is he the actual boss of this stage? Okay, I just don't remember how to cheese picking them up like I used to. I was getting my butt kicked because I'm focusing too much on it, actually. Oh, yeah, vicious! Oh my gosh. Okay, we've got terrain here. Let's use it. And as bad as, like, you know, this boss is kind of whooping on me right now, I remember the one that really just drove me crazy back in the day. It might be the boss of the next stage. Is he the one that's the spider boss? Oh my gosh, he comes down and he grabs you and he basically just kills you right then and there. Oh my gosh. No! It's brutal! Look at that! But, you know, I had some shower thoughts, led me to an idea for another video to try and do. And it's basically talking about the GameCube. Or rather, that's the system I wound up choosing. Because it'd be the, you know, again, the idea right now with doing these videos is just keep it simple, stupid. And don't make it any harder on yourself. And so I'm starting with the GameCube because it's the easiest one to do for me right now. It's the easiest one for me to capture some footage of, while also talking about what it basically is just going through and talking about all the games, not that I own now, but that I owned during the system's lifespan. You know, just kind of going through what my, you know, I guess journey with the system was, or however the heck you want to say it. These guys don't transform. Pretty sure they don't. If they do, then we're chucking the controller. Oh my gosh. Really? Yes, really. I'm amazed at how good I used to be at this game whenever I play it like this now. It's the same thing with, you know, here's I'm digressing from the GameCube chat, but Double Dragon 3 on the NES, Sacred Stones. Oh man, I was awesome at that game as a kid. Not at first. I remember that was one I had to learn. I had to really figure out how to succeed in that one. But I did. And, yeah. Oh. Did we really burn through guys that fast with that one? Okay, I guess we'll continue on a little bit longer. Heck. I just can't remember how to do it properly. But, yeah, I got to where I could play a heck of a long way through not Dragon Age, come on. Double Dragon 3. And that's a game that, you know, a couple years ago I tried playing again for the first time in like 20 years. And dude, I could barely make it out of the first room. Oh, it was horrible. There we go. Now we can continue. But, you know, to go back to the GameCube stuff, yeah, I'm gonna talk through all the games that I own for the system. GameCube's just the first one I'm doing, again, because it's the easiest to capture. And honestly, the easiest to talk about the games I had too, because my just the way I have my games organized right now, it's easiest to get to my GameCube games and pull out the ones that I owned during the original lifespan. Whereas with like the NES, Super NES, they're all kind of mixed up, and where they're being kept in the house right now, just be a little bit more of a hassle to fish them out and organize them. And N64 was a close second place, but because the games are like just right there in the closet, but sorting out the ones I originally owned versus all the ones I have now would have been a real bear, because you know the N64 games, they only have the front label. So I really would have to pull all the games out to check the front labels and figure out which ones I needed to use. So just starting with the GameCube, and I'm still trying to get everything in place for those. This game's a marathon. I mean, it seriously is. I remember that about it. I just remember being able to, just run it better than I am. Okay, here we go. Another one. Okay, yeah. Once we run out of this life, I'm calling it a night. I'm just kind of done. So this probably isn't going to be the greatest video that will ever be uploaded to this channel. But yeah, right now it's just about keep things moving. Keep producing stuff. Because no one's watching right now anyway. Although, actually, there was someone that subscribed. I have no idea who, because surprisingly I can't find anywhere to see who, the subscribers to a channel actually are. Oh gosh, midgets and dogs together. Or hunchbacks. Midget hunchbacks. That just had me thinking about something else. Uh-oh. Easy there. But, crap, what was I thinking? I keep losing my concentration and train of thought. I don't know. I don't know. Oh, come on. Can't a guy just drink some Power Cola in peace? That was weird. Come on. Shoot. Yeah, of course, forget that blows up nowadays. Oh, wait, here he is. Oh, this guy. Just so obnoxious. Come on, you bum. He's an ugly mofo too, isn't he? How slow of a projectile are we talking about there? I don't remember how to get him down without getting hit. Can you just wait him out? I can't remember. Seriously? Maybe it's... Oh, yeah. Skeleton Falls, yeah, I remember that. It's kind of cool. Oh, you serious? Like, look at that. Oh. They used to just drive me insane. And when you know it, it's still kind of annoying now. There we go. Nothing to it. I'm going to go back and review the video that I've recorded, and I'm going to remember, oh yeah, I was talking about this, I was talking about that, and then I just trailed off into nothing and couldn't remember what to go back and say. I'm going to be kicking myself pretty hard on this one. What even is Power Cola? Like, you have to... Oh, okay, yeah, let's see if we can... Yeah, that's what I thought I remember being able to do. It's so good. Come on. Yeah. But then, of course, you know, you're in a position where you can't... I have no one to use it on, so... Oh my gosh. Can we... okay, this is going to seem a little bit random, but, you know, there's a thought connecting. Although I won't bore you with that, all the stops on the train. Oh my gosh. What is going on with retro game prices right now? Oh, you know what? We'll save that talk for another time, because I'm tired, and I'm kind of done. But, yeah, basically, like, I happened to be looking at eBay, what, 2 days ago? I was looking for something completely unrelated, not video game related, but I decided, you know what? There was a game I was still trying to track down a copy of. Let me go and see if I can find one on there. Sure enough, found a great looking copy. Seems legit. We'll find out when it gets here and I can open it up. It's not that expensive of one to take a risk on, but, well, I say that, you know, see, that's still me thinking of how much it used to cost, but, it's Phantasy Star on the Sega Master System. For some reason, it's one of those games that for years I never could come across in good enough condition that I wanted, because I wanted a really nice copy, and I never could come across it at the conventions or any of the stores, and there were a couple of eBay auctions that I had battled to win a copy of, and it just never managed to win any of those. Or rather, no, the one that really annoyed me was before the last time I had bid on auction, it was like just a perfect mint, almost brand new copy of it. The price wasn't too bad based on, well, I saw what the auction ended at, but I basically missed the auction. I missed it because the eBay app on the phone is just so utterly useless and anemic on its notifications. I was like, okay, I'm gonna, you know, watch for the notification whenever it, you know, it pops up and the auction's about to end and everything. I'll jump in there, snipe, and no, I forget what I was doing on the day, but I obviously wasn't paying enough attention, and of course, it doesn't, you know, I've never been able to find anything that have it be more obnoxious with its notifications so that you actually notice them. So I totally missed the auction. I forget how much it went for back then. Like how much the auction wound up going for. It wasn't a bad price, especially for that beautiful of a copy. Oh, I was steaming for like 2 weeks after that. But anyway, I did wind up buying the copy yesterday, but just looking at the price of the game, just a few months ago, you could still get like a really nice copy, complete in box, for like what, 130 maybe. And then 2 days ago, when I'm looking at all the prices on eBay for it, they're all like 220, 250, 280. It's like ever since COVID sprung up in March of last year, I remember seeing on like price charting and Game Value Now, like the history charts, just like shoot up on all games, or at least all the games I bothered checking back then. I was just like, what is happening? And I'm utterly dismayed to see it continuing. It's like, can we go back to the days when you could buy these games for a reasonable price? It's like, I don't care. Like, I just want to have the games and appreciate them and play them. I don't want them to have this crazy value. Like, it's just so obnoxious. Because it takes a lot of the fun out of finding video games. Because then you're like, oh, do I want to break the bank just to buy a couple of games? Because that's what it's coming down to. I don't care about the value of the games that I have now. I'm not selling them. And anyone that is stockpiling games because, that's what they're investing in for the future is just a stone cold stupid idiot. You know what? I'm putting away the soapbox. I'm going to shut everything down. I can't quite go to bed yet because it's still my shift to watch, my daughter for when she decides to wake up screaming in the night. But I'm 40 minutes plus in here, and at this point I'm just rambling. I don't even know if I'm making any sense because I'm that tired. So here's a video of some kind. Again, the rule right now is whatever I record, it goes up on the channel. So we'll see what happens. Oh, you know what? That's what I was talking about earlier. Yeah, I actually wound up, I've got a subscriber to the channel, and I'm just thinking, how did that even happen? And, someone liked the first video, and there's a first comment on last week's video, and I'm just, thinking, these have to be bots. Because who in their right mind would have found a channel in this level of infancy? It just doesn't even make any sense. So, I don't know who my mystery subscriber and or watchers have been thus far, but, that's weird and unexpected. So have fun with this one. If you have the guts, the constitution to sit through the tripe that this one has been. I don't know. Okay, I'm hitting the wrong button to stop things. Good night.